Hello, hello. Can you Rahman? Ms. Rahman, if you will. I hope everybody's doing well when you join or you watch later. I am doing amazingly. Thanks for asking. I'm sure you would if you were here with me. So, as the caption said, I'm talking about this the gentleman that went viral. Um, Let me get his name real quick. Um, Hold on one sec. I'm sorry, I don't have this auto already up. Curtis Harris, that's his name, out in Michigan. And first things first, if you laughed when you saw the original video like I did, don't feel bad. Today, when I got up, when we found out what was going on in the license and everything like that, hey, thanks for joining me. Everybody kind of made us think they tried to make us feel bad, but I don't care. The video was funny, like his face. Oh, man, that shit was funny as hell. So don't feel bad about it because I don't care. Nobody say, y'all know I've been in this arena for a minute. Mr. Harris knew that they had not fixed his license. Now, I'm going to tell y'all why I say that. And I could be wrong. I'm just going off of my experience in life, not just with child support. So yesterday, this is my example. Hey, thanks for joining me. This is my example. Yesterday, we didn't have power pretty much all day. So that made me think of this example. So, when you don't pay your light bill or whatever, if you haven't had that happen to you, you're good for you, but I'm not that fortunate. I've had my power off. So when you go and pay your bill, you know exactly what time they when they turn it back on, you wait in, when the bill hit, when the payment go through, all that. So as soon as it hits, you waiting. If they don't turn it on, you calling, you whatever. So the fact that Mr. Harris, although I'm sure he was embarrassed, it was funny. So my point is, if he knew that he paid everything with his child support 2 years ago, and they did not reinstate his license 2 years ago, and he was in court for driving without a license all the way now, that man knew what that court paper or what they had downtown when he showed up for court. And that's why he knew when that judge said, wait a minute, is this for you? This is for driving under suspension. That's why his face looked like that, like, damn. Oh shit. And then he said he was driving his wife to, get some medical help or whatever. So don't feel bad because you laugh, because it was funny. He got busted. But this is also a teachable moment when it comes to child support and, getting your license suspended or a lien or anything like that they do, and the unconstitutional practices that the government executes on people over a debt that most of the time is not even a legal debt. And there is some I'm sorry guys, there is of course arguments back and forth on whether this system in itself is legal or constitutional in itself, on how the administrative versus the judicial units of government, if they should be even, the separation of powers. So that's a whole different conversation. But for this video, I just want to talk about when they do have the right, or they have went and sued you, when they have an order and everything like that, which seems to be the case with Mr. Harris. So the one thing that when Mr. Harris with his license, it made me think of when they issued the Department of Justice letter. I'll get to the comments later, but thanks guys for joining me. When I thought of the Department of Justice letter that was released. Wait, is that DOJ? That was released back in 2016. That was rescinded by the then Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He rescinded it back in 2018, and this was right after Mike Brown was murdered out there in Ferguson, Missouri, and they went in and investigated them because of how they were running their driver's license, how they were pulling people over, locking people up for contempt of court, suspending licenses, just everything they were doing that was illegal. And that's pretty much when they went and investigated Ferguson. That's how the United States jurisdictions have been running the child support system for 25 years. There has been no accountability, and that is what the DOJ under former President Obama, that's what they had discovered when they went in and investigated after Mike Brown's killing. So that letter was rescinded, but there was so many violations in that letter, and somebody posted it today, which made me think to go and look at it this evening when I wanted to talk about the license suspension over there in Michigan. And y'all know Michigan FOC is trash. Like I talk about Michigan all the time, like that. I know everybody say that their state is the worst state, but Michigan, I just wish the feds came down there when I was working with Carnell Alexander back in 2015, a paternity fraud case. You guys that know me or know my advocacy, they came down, the feds came in 2015 for his paternity fraud case where they just straight up lied. The process server lied, the whole case was fraud. The dad by default. So that's why we all encourage Carnell and everybody I work with, always encourage you guys to go and get the case file from the very beginning. Make sure they have service on you. Make sure they serve the summons and you sign for it, and make sure the case is valid, because if they did not get service on you, that case is not any good. They have to throw all of it out. So that made me think of I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, Michigan, just garbage. Like everything they do, like, and Darius McCrary, I was just there with him in March. He had his cases in Oakland County. Trash, like this is just garbage. They extradited him from LA all the way to Michigan, extradited on a child support case. These are the things that they're doing. And they actually came and took his son from him that he had from a baby, just because the mom wanted him back to get money. But Darius talks about it in detail. And I have an interview that we did last year. You can find it on the playlist, but he talks about it in detail. But I'm just saying, Michigan is horrible, and nobody says anything until something like Mr. Harris, his case goes viral. Then you find out, you start digging a little bit. Oh, it's a child support case. Oh, they suspended his license. Oh, they didn't, it was a clerical error. Oh shit, they still doing that. They know that people need their license, their professional license, their driver's license. They need these licenses in order to make money. So it makes no sense to take these licenses, and they know it. So they reissued the DOJ letter in 2023 because it's that important. It points out so many key elements that states should be following so they don't violate our constitutional rights when it comes to things like license suspensions, bank liens, levies, when we allegedly owe a debt to the government. And they've been getting away with doing these violations I'm sorry, excuse me. They've been getting away with this for so long that they'll continue doing it if we don't make it stop. So I want to talk about the 14th Amendment, which requires the consideration of alternatives before incarcerating individuals who are unable to pay fines and fees, which we know they still use debtor prisons. They lock people up, just like that judge issued a warrant instantly because Harris was driving for the case. You know, it had the court, he was driving, so it just automatically locked him up. But when you go and dig a little bit deeper, it's all over him owing a child support debt. That's where the beginning of him even being in court, that's where it started, this child support system. So everything starts when all these enforcements come, when they start like trying to penalize people. You have to have the ability to pay and refuse to do so. That is the number one thing after they get a court order from you. After you fight that, and please fight it, don't agree to anything. Um, you have to have an ability. You have to have the money to comply with the order before they can do anything to you enforcement wise. So I just want to throw some case law out to you guys. And like I said, these links are in the description, so you can go back and look them over if you are going to court or facing something like this, what Mr. Harris was going through. So there's a oh, hold on one second, let me find my spot. Oh, that might not even have been the. I know I did. Sorry, guys, I gotta find where I did my notes. Hmm, I know I do not see. Oh, here they go. Okay. I was about to be like, what? Okay, so the first one, the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause, and that prohibits state, that prohibits state action that results in discriminatory effect against a protected class when the state action is motivated in whole or part by discriminatory purpose. And I mean, you can go anywhere with that. It can be because of your race, your gender, your ability to pay, your marital status. You know, there's very different laws in place for married people versus unmarried people. That is really the basis of the child support system. They treat married people very differently than they treat unmarried people. So that's the first thing. So it has been proven for decades that child support enforcement, although it affects every demographic, Black people, Black fathers in particular, are hit disproportionately harder because of um, they Black men have higher unemployment rates, and that is the way that 70% of child support is collected is through work garnishments, income garnishments, IWOs. So if the unemployment is higher for Black men, that means their debt is higher because they're not getting garnished. So they are enforced upon more in the child support system. See, two, the impact of official action is often probative of why the action was taken in the first place. Thus, efforts to collect fines and fees that are discriminatory effect on members of a particular race, yielding, for example, racially disproportionate stops and citations, may constitute evidence that, in combination with other evidence, could support a finding of intentional discrimination. So again, not saying that everybody is not affected by these laws, but just like in Mr. Harris's case, here he is already taken care of this issue, and we don't even know what else he has going on. Is his credit affected? Does he have a bank levy? I found out, a good friend of mine, Alex, I was talking to him, and he we were talking about something going on with him, and he said that they don't even garnish or levy your bank account anymore if you get Social Security or whatever. They go straight to the Social Security office because they cut out the middleman, because they know that certain Social Security SSI is exempt. They can't touch it. So instead, they go straight to the source. That either buys them some time, or they can get some money before they have to stop the garnishment. I thought that was like, they don't even go to the bank anymore. Like, they're just finding out new ways to get money. So they also found, this is still from the DOJ letter, they also found that the fiscal impact of debt-based driver's license suspensions summarized that research in numerous states, they concluded that debt-based driver's license suspensions are ineffective and counterproductive in debt collection. But we all know that out here. And if we all know it out here, guess who else knows it? All the people that conduct the researches, all the people that do all of this stuff, they know it too. So to keep everybody in debt, keep everybody in control, they keep these licenses, they lose the paperwork, they do just what they're doing. Fine suspensions that can't be answered based Oh, that's the name of the book. But they concluded that debt-based license suspensions, again, are counterproductive because they often render individuals unable to work and place individuals at risk of incurring additional fines and fees that they cannot pay if they drive while their license is suspended. They found this in the Department of Justice letter, and yet there's nothing being done. So that is what I want to talk about. I wanted to make sure I reposted, reshared the Department of Justice letters with you guys, so you can look over it. If y'all have, if you're going to court, if your licenses are suspended, you can file to have them back. If you weren't properly notified, that's one thing. If you have to get to work, if it's causing you, having your license suspended is causing you a financial hardship, but that's based on your jurisdiction. Just check your statutes. And another thing is, if ability to pay prevented you from complying with the court order, then your rights have been violated, because they have to screen your case. This is in that DOJ letter. Before they do any or conduct any enforcement measures or execute any performance measures, any punishments, enforcement measures against you, they have to do an ability to pay kind of screening on your case. So if that was not completed and then they suspended your license, or did some other, did a lien or whatever like that, or issued a contempt of court warrant and put you in jail. Those things, they have to do what's in this DOJ letter first. And finally, this is Mr. Harris's case is one of those where it's a good example of following up and where you are your strongest advocate. When you know that this is going on, it's not going to, or, you have this issue going on. They're not, these child support people, the government, whatever, they don't care anything about you. Their only objective is to get your money by any means. So they're not going to make sure of anything. You have to go and follow up and do your due diligence and make sure that the suspensions are lifted and the liens are, closed out and your credit is good and everything is good, because they're not going to do it. You're just another case number to all of these people, and money. The more money they get, the better off they are. And it's not where the performance measures are based on how many people they run through the system. That's not how that operates on the Title 4D funding part, and that's what the performance measures are. But that's a different video. That's I can go and go and go. But before I go, let me check the comments. I thank you all for sticking with me. I haven't done one of these with notes. I was all over the place, but I did want to try to get through this before the power went out, because it has been raining crazy. Hey, Nick. Hey, Tommy. Let's see. Who else is here? Oh, shoot. Let me go over here. Okay, here we go. Nick, what's up? A lot of people don't realize you have to pay a fee to drive. Yeah, you got to pay those fees. You got to pay for everything. And the child support system, that whole thing, it's a business. All that is a business. That's why they privatize a lot of those people that you pay. A lot of all that is private companies. Maximus, is that what Maximus, Young Williams? There's a couple other. Those are private companies. You can pay at like Family Dollar. You can make a payment. All this is outsourced to private companies. So it's not just the federal government. Oh, yeah, it costs that much? John, I don't know if you're still here, but no, I don't work on individual cases anymore. I used to. I don't do it at this time, no. I'm glad you didn't, Nick. We need you here. Suicide, what they say, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Yeah, the 10,000, when you go to court and you find out that you owe on day one 10,000, 20,000, they're going back retroactively, and that's based on the Bradley Amendment. I have a video up here, and I explained the Bradley Amendment. We need to repeal that. That needs to be repealed ASAP. Let me skip the ads. Yeah, Tommy, I'm wondering, somebody had mentioned to me that years ago they used to sell the debt, the arrears, which I know is just smoke and mirrors. That debt is not real. Like I said, when you go in and they start you off day one retroactively $10,000, especially on Title 4D welfare cases. So you're allegedly repaying welfare, which 10,000, you might get what, let's say 5,000 in 10 years or something. I'm just throwing a number out there, but all of a sudden you're supposed the father owes 30,000 on day one. So all that money is just smoke and mirrors. It's a number they pulled out the air. Well, somebody said in our research, but I didn't find a lot of information that they were selling that fake debt to other businesses. But I don't know if they still do it, or I don't know. So I would like to know if somebody has the time to look that up. I would like to know if that's what's up. 500 left, but they have me on it. What? 38,000. Tommy, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say about that. Hey, Gabby, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Passport, despite of years. Just the passport, that's a difficult one. I would just go back and make sure that before they revoke the passport, make sure that he was properly served. Not served, but notified before they revoked it. If not, I would demand it back. I'm going to do some more research. I'm just finishing up, like editing my new book. So once I'm finished with that and have that out, I'm gonna start getting more back into researching child support and giving you guys more up to date info. What about getting credit back up? Um, Now I've heard that you can get credit taken off child support taken off your credit and getting your credit score back up. And I have a couple people that do, okay, a credit repair for child support. Somebody does this and somebody does that want to work, collab with me. But like I said, I wasn't doing anything with child support um, during this time. But I'm gonna get back in it because I think it's important. I always thought child support reform and that was important. It's just it's a lot of snakes out here. There's a lot of people I just can't do. I can't work with. Yeah, there are. What I'll do, I'll find I'll talk to a couple people I know for sure, and I will. I'm gonna see about the best way to do that, and give their name, make sure that they're okay with it, and see how I can post their information and get you all that are interested in that service, get you all connected. Okay, neat. And same thing, Gabby. I want to see what I can find out about the passport. That's the first thing I know. They have to serve you. A lot of times, what they do when they come up with new enforcement measures, it's like a mass. They just do it mass, like a mass cutoff or whatever across the board. So they don't notify people. They just do it. So you want to make sure that whoever's passports you're trying to get restored is was properly notified. Excuse me, guys. Um, okay, so that is it. Make sure your notifications are on. I'm going to be back on more in the future. Having a little bit more time since I'm finished with my book. I hope y'all are getting ready to read it. Welfare Did Not Destroy the Black Family. I've been working on it for a while. I can't wait to share it with you all. If you have any questions for me, you can always email me at cshustle, the number one, at gmail.com. You can check out my website, thechildsupporthustle.com. All that good stuff. I got the merch, the shirts, my book. I got $1 child support, facts about child support ebook. You can download for $1. You can find it on my website, and it has like just good information that you might need or you might want to know about child support. I hope I answered some questions for you all. Sorry, especially for yes. I'm buying both books. Thanks, Nick. This book, I found out some. I learned so much from writing. I really enjoyed the research and learning a lot. So hopefully, I mean, like I said, when I start writing, it's not trying to change anybody's mind about whether welfare destroyed the black family, what they feel. It was just something I wanted to find out the origins of where that talking point came from. Um, and I really didn't want children, young black kids, young anybody, to come up and just think that was true. It's ridiculous to me. But I just didn't want that to be the thing. You too. Thank you. I can't wait to read it. Read your collection. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Give me something to eat. I'll see you next time. Make sure y'all know these are on. All right. Fight the power.